Hey everyone, welcome back to the Shubham Compiled Tech channel. And today we are going to practically learn about HTML links and the anchored HTML element, which is one of the most important elements in HTML. Throughout this video, you will know how to create links that connect web pages, open websites, and even send emails. So let's start by asking a question: what is HTML link element? And the answer is simple, that HTML links are hyperlinks or links to jump to another document. In simple terms, HTML links are what make the web connected. When you click on a word, image, or button and it takes you to another page, that's a link. In the HTML, links are created using a special tag called the anchor tag or element. The HTML anchor element simply defines a hyperlink, and the syntax is as follows. So first we write less than symbol, then a in lowercase, and then close the tag. And inside it we can provide some content such as Shubham compiled tag, and that's almost what we need to do to create a anchor tag. So if we open our index.html file in our web browser, we can see that we have some text here that says Shubham compile tag, but this is not a link, it's just a text. So now how to convert it into an actual link? So we can do that by adding an href attribute to our anchor tag, which is also the most important attribute of the anchor element, which indicates the link's destination. So if we write href here, so href equals, and let's add https slash forward slash youtube.com slash shub at the rate Shubham compiled tag. So if we now save it and open the page in our web browser, we can see that it now has changed its color to blue and it is underlined, and also the pointer has been changed to cursor. So if we click on this, we can see that this takes to our YouTube page. So by default, an unvisited link is underlined and blue in color. A visited link is underlined and purple in color, and an active link is underlined and red. Also, we can provide absolute and relative URL in the href attribute, like in the image element example I showed you in the previous video. Right now, we are using the absolute URL, that is the full website reference to another website, but we can also provide an relative URL by adding the slashes and patch to the other web page in the document. So for example, let's create a new file here by clicking this icon, not inside the images folder, or we can right click here and create a new file here called sample.html. And if we copy paste the content from index.html here and change some content here from HTML tutorial to, like, this is sample web page, and instead of anchor tag we can just say a paragraph here. This is sample HTML page. So we now save and go to our index.html page here and create a new anchor element here with href attribute set as relative URL, and we can set the sample.html file here and just pass that sample page link. And if we now save and refresh our web page here, we can see that our sample page link is displayed, and if we click on this, we are taken to the sample page here that is displayed on the title of a sample web page. Then we can also use an image to work as a link by just passing an image tag inside the anchor tag instead of plain tags. And this not only just works for the image tag, the children tag can be any tag such as a table, button, list item, and etc. So let's see an example of image as a link. So if we go below here and type anchor tag again and href2, let's just copy the link from here to here, and instead of passing plain tags, let's actually pass an image tag here with source as images, and what we have our mypicture.png image here, and also give a alt attribute here which is required. Let's just say Shubham compiled tag logo, and let's just close the image tag here. And if we now save and go to our index.html web page here and refresh the page, we can see that the image is now clickable. And if we click on it, it will take us to our Shubham Compiled Tech YouTube channel page. Then we have the target attribute. By default, the linked page will be displayed in the current browser window. And to change this, we must specify another target for the link. The target attribute specifies where to open the linked document and can have the following values. First is the underscore self, which is default and opens the document in the same window or tab. Then we have underscore blank, which opens the document in a new window or tab. Then we have underscore parent, which opens the document in the parent frame. And lastly, we have underscore top, which opens the document in the full body of the window. Don't worry, you don't have to remember all of them. The most used ones are the underscore self and an underscore blank. Rest you can make a note of it to reference it later. So if we go to our Visual Studio Code here, by default the target attribute is set to the underscore self, and if we want to change it, we can define the target attribute here and set the underscore self, which is default. But now let's just attach the underscore blank here, which opens the linked document in a new window or tab. So let's go to our index.html page here and refresh the page here. So if we refresh and click on the Shubham compiled tag first link here, we can see that it opens in a new browser window or tab and our YouTube page is loaded here. Next, we have the link to an email address. We can use the special mail to colon syntax inside the anchor tag's href attribute to specify the anchor tag to create a link that opens the user's email program. To specify the anchor tag to create a link that opens the user's email program, basically to let them send a new email. So for example, let's go to our Visual Studio Code and let's actually define the width and height of image here. To let's minimize it a little bit. So let's give a width of 100 here and height of also 100, and create a new anchor tag here and set href to mail to colon, and let's just set an email here. Let's just say example@gmail.com and close the tag here, and let's just say send message. So send message, and if we now save and open our index.html file in the web browser and refresh the page, we can see that the send message link is there, and if we click on it, it will open our default email app to send an email to the email address which we provided in the href attribute. Then we can also use a button as a link, but we have to use some JavaScript code to achieve this. The JavaScript allows you to specify what happens at certain event, such as mouse click of a button. So if we go to our Visual Studio Code here and create a new button here, and let's just assign on click event to it, and let's just say document dot location. Don't worry, this is JavaScript code, not HTML. You don't have to remember this. I'm just using it to demonstrate you button as a link. So let's add equals and single quotes to define the address here. Let's just say https and forward slash youtube.com forward slash @ Shubham compiled tag, and let's just close the button tag here, and let's just say button with link, and let's just save it and open it in the browser here. So let's refresh our web page here, and we can see that we have a button with link, and if we click on this, it will take us to our YouTube page. So this was an example of image as a link. Then we can also define the title attribute in the anchor tag, just like we discussed in the previous video about HTML element attributes. We can provide extra information about our hyperlink by passing the title attribute, and it will be shown as a tooltip to the user. So let's add a tooltip to our send message here, and let's set use this button to send me a message, and if we save it, so let's open our index.html file. I have mistakenly closed it and refresh the page, and if we hover over the send message button, we can see that the tooltip has been shown with text use this button to send me a message. Next, we have something called the link bookmarks that allows us to jump to specific parts of a web page. Bookmarks can be useful if a web page is very long. When the bookmarked link is clicked, the page scrolls down or up to the bookmarked location. So what are the steps to create and use HTML link bookmarks? So let's go to our Visual Studio Code here and remove all of this. We don't need this anymore. So let's create a new heading here called h1 and let's define a new ID here to the h1 element called p1, and let's just close this tag and pass some content like heading, or let's just say paragraph 1, and below this let's add a paragraph tag here and define some content like this is a paragraph, and let's just copy it for some time to make it a paragraph. So let's just paste it sometimes and let's just copy these h1 and paragraph tag here and paste them below to make the web page very long. And let's just change the id attribute of our heading tags here because every id should be unique. So let's give it a paragraph 2 id, p2 and p3. Let's change the same for other ones to p4. This will be p5 and this will be p6 and this will be p7 and this will be p8, and also change the content here. So p8 and p7, then p6, and let me just do it quickly. So we have created our paragraphs here. Next we need to create our links here, that is bookmark links. So let's create an anchor tag here with href attribute set as hashtag and then defined by the headings id attribute. So let's add p1 here and let's just say para1, and let's just copy it for others also. So let's add a few more here. And let's just change the values here, para 2, para 3, para 4, 5, 6, 7, and let's add one more, that is 8. And let's change the IDs also here, so p1, p2, p3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So if we now save, let's add up here. So if we now save and open the index.html in our browser here and refresh the page here, we can see that we have paragraphs here up to 8, and if we click on para 8 link here, it will take us to the paragraph 8 here. So we have moved down a little bit by using link bookmarks, not by scrolling. Also if we click on our para 7 here, we will be taken down to the paragraph 7 here, which is where it is defined. So this is how the link bookmarks work. So let us quickly recap what we have done so far. We have learned how to create HTML links with the anchor tag. Then we talked about the href attribute that defines the link's destination. Next, the target attribute with two main values, that is the underscore self and underscore blank, where underscore self opens the link in the same client browser window or tab and underscore blank opens the link in a new window or tab. We learned about how to use images, buttons, etc. HTML elements as link along with the title attribute. We learned about how to send email via anchor tag using mail to colon, and finally we learned about the link bookmarks. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and comment your curious questions, and also follow me on the Instagram, link is in the description. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Happy coding.